So guys, let's take a look at this our DXY and our US30. So first of all, let's start with the DXY, right? So the first thing before we take this trade is that what is the trend? So we would want to know the trend for that such assets, right? Or anything we would want to place a trade on. We would want to know the trend for that movement. So we clearly can see that this movement itself is a bearish move. This is a downtrend move. It is not an uptrend, neither is it a ranging market move, but it is actually a downward movement. Price is trending down. Secondly, the question we would want to ask ourselves is that is this price trading below our moving average or 10 is it trading above the moving average? By the way, this moving average we are using here is 10 period moving average. Now you all know the rules of trading this moving average. Once this price is below the moving average, once it is trading below this moving average, then clearly we know that that is a sell movement, it is a bearish move. But if it is trading above it, then that is a buy. So previously we see that this DXY was trading above this moving average. One of the reasons why we were going long. Right now, you can see that this movement is downward. So this is a bearish move. So DXY, we can see that we are on a bearish move. Our price is trading below our 10 period moving average. So one thing we should be looking out for is to actually sell. So whatever we would want to do, we would want to take a sell on DXY. Have it in mind that in major news will be coming out the next for tomorrow, which would very much affect our DXY, but don't worry, it's going to make our push our DXY further down. So that is to tell you that USD itself will actually drop. So any pairs we will be trading to our USD should give us a bearish move. Now let's quickly take a look at this trend for better understanding. So you'd see this, let's start it from here. So let's say this is a drop and this would be seen as a pullback on DXY. Then we will now take a look at this to be a drop, and here comes a pullback, right? If you take a look at this, this is a drop. You notice that all this drop we are having, we're breaking this previous lows, right? Then we will now take a look at this to be a pullback. Right now, what we've got in here is a new drop. You can see that this drop, this bearish move, broke this previous lows, right? And now here comes to be a pullback. So now that the pullback has played out, what do we expect next? Of course, we are expecting a further bearish move. So we see that price have actually opened and closed bearish, right, for today. So the next day, which is 21, which we are trying to predict for, we expect this DXY to actually drop further down. So DXY, we are still on a bearish move, and we would want to see this price actually opened and close red or bearish for the next day. As long as this price is still below our moving average, as long as it is still trading below this moving average, then definitely this is a sell movement and we want to take a move sell on it. Now let's see what this 4-hour time frame is actually saying. So if you take a look at this moment here, you see 4-hour time frame has just rejected here. So let's see if this price will continue to behave like that on the 4-hour time frame till the news is being released that we break below it. So we just don't know if it will break below it before the news or if price will continue to range within this level till the news is being out, till the news is out before we can go ahead to sell. Above all, the XY on the food trend, we are on a bearish move and we want to see it actually give us a bearish move for the next day. Now what we have here is US 30, right? So like I said, before we place a trade, what is the trend for that movement? So we clearly can see that previously, I think this was the month of the October, US30 has been giving us a bullish move, right? That is where we can see an higher highs and an higher lows. We can easily spot it. Secondly, is that we can take a look at this moving average. Now, we all know the rules of trading this moving average. Once this price is above our moving average, once we are seeing a price above our moving average, then clearly that is a buy movement and we would want to go long, right? So this was what we were having previously. But now price has now changed direction and we are now having a bearish move. We can take a look at this to be lower lows and a lower high is one. You can see that this price is trading below this 10 period moving average. So we would also want to sell. And if you take a look at Nasdaq 100, you see that we're also having a bearish move. Same thing with S&P 500. We're also having a bearish move. So if you take a look at your Dow Jones and every other stock index, they are all dropping, right? So it's not really surprised that we are also having a drop on this US 30. So no doubt about that. So let's now see this to be a drop. And today we actually opened and closed green, right? So the next day we expect this price to actually continue its bearish move downward. So US 30, we want to continue our bearish move down, right? So we can take a look at this green to be a pullback. Where is this pullback over? Well, we can't really decide. Though we tomorrow will be able to know if it is over or not. But one thing for sure on this US 30 is that we will be getting a drop anytime soon. So just watch out for it. A drop will be coming soon. Now, if we take a look at this 4-hour time frame, so you can see this 4-hour time frame. You clearly can see the trend on the 4-hour time frame. This is clearly a bearish move. This is a downward trend. So you take a look at this to be a drop, and here will be considered to be a correction. Then a new drop and a correction here, right? A new drop and a correction here, right? A new drop that broke this previous lows, and here to be a correction. So let's see if this correction will come to give us like a double top here. So let's see it. Since price has reacted to this level here, right? We see price have reacted to this same level. So let's see this price come up again to tap this level, thereby giving us a double top, as you want to call it. Then we should now expect a further drop. So US 30, so we will be expecting a drop, right? So we just want to see this price go up a little bit. Let us see go bullish a little bit, then a drop will be made. And let's see what this 1-hour time frame actually says. So this 1-hour time frame, right, calculates that this is still rallying up. We are still seeing that rally movement up. So let us see it come out to take out this level, which is a level of 33,000, right? 33,000. Once it can get to that level, then we should get a drop for the next day.